Good morning, everybody. We are off and running today. Nice stop for that car behind us. So we currently are at 35 degrees, definitely warmer. We are at 42% on the battery, and I am in standard speed profile today. So let's talk FSD for a moment. Full self-driving supervised, which is currently what Tesla has right at the moment. Yesterday, unfortunately, I was not filming. All the good stuff happens when I do not film. I had my student with me, so I was not able to. But yesterday here in upstate New York, Binghamton, we had probably an ice, rain, terrible road debris flying up on the highways and the local roads, and it was just really a hot mess. Nothing like I've really seen before, including a deep freeze rain that I encountered coming back from Harpersville, New York, which was on 88. So FSD 5 times yesterday during my travels, and I traveled quite a bit yesterday, actually threw up the red hands and made me take over. Part of the reason was, which a lot of YouTubers and myself have complained about, were the cameras. The debris on the road, the way the rain was coming in, the way it's just winter transitioning into spring, really clouded up the camera system to where you really could not even see out the cameras at all. Now, the front camera on the Cybertruck, as well as the other Teslas that do have the front cameras, do have a washer system. However, it does not work when you're in full self-driving mode. It only works when you are stopped. So I could not even utilize that at all. I mean, I am a big supporter of FSD, as you know. I'm at 98% as far as using it, so I use it all the time. I don't really quote-unquote do testing like the YouTubers, influencers do. I actually just drive it like a normal human being for my work. So I know sometimes I feel like I might even have a little bit more understanding of what the system does than some of the influencers do, because they're just doing specific tests to try to make it do things or not do things, whereas I'm using it every day for my job. So yesterday was an extremely bad day. I really wish I had been filming, because there's no way this system at the current moment can go autonomous, unsupervised. I just don't see it happening, at least not in the Northeast, at least not where those of us who have this type of weather. The camera systems need to get better. There needs to be some sort of repellent on it where the debris washes off of it. Washers that actually work when you're driving. So yesterday was not a good day. It was not a good day. I had to take over several times. Mostly, a lot of times it was when I was turning. Those seemed to be when it kicked in the most, with the red hands popping up. So everyone's like, oh yeah, you can get you from point A to point B. And yes, it can. It actually can, and you've seen my videos, it does that. Very little intervention here and there, other than maybe some parking selections or just some parking jobs, but you've seen it, when it's kind of said, hey, I can't park in this because there's snow covering the lines. But my encounter yesterday was horrible. It was terrible. And I really hope, and I had to disengage FSD and I had to re-engage it, and sometimes it would, tell me to throw, and it's because of the cameras. The cameras were covered in yuck, dirt, debris, rain. It was just awful yesterday. At one point in time, I hit something that was some sort of freezing ice that completely covered the whole Cybertruck in ice. I've never had that experience on any cars. My windshield was completely iced over. Even the windshield fluid was not really getting rid of it. It was just the most bizarre encounter I've ever had, and that is what would be a fringe case scenario. Like I said, I've been up in this area for quite a while. I've been driving like this for quite a while, and I've never encountered anything like that. So I still think we have a long way to go. I mean, if you're in California or you're in Florida or anywhere in the South, yeah, you're going to have wonderful, awesome experiences. It's those of us that are here in the North. We encounter rain, we encounter snow, we encounter crap being thrown up at us. Those, I think, are the areas that need to be watched more carefully. I think those are the areas that really need to have Tesla monitor, because it was not a good day yesterday. It was, very frustrating. I had my student with me, so she got to see, what happened, and, it wasn't really a good look for FSD. And granted, she's done a lot of other drives with me where it's done perfectly, but still, you have those, and, if you're not used to the system or you're not knowledgeable, kind of scary, kind of a disarming. It really makes you not trust the system. So Tesla really needs to get on the ball with those of us here in, the Northeast that encounter these weather phenomena and weather conditions. Now, with that being said, I will say the Cybertruck did amazing in the ice. That's all I can say is it was ice. Everything was ice. It was just ice all over. I used FSD. I did not, manually drive unless it told me to take over, and I tried to do that very, for a few seconds to get the system back right, and then I turned it back on. So the Cybertruck with these standard tires that came from the factory did great. No slipping, no sliding. It stayed right on course, and it did very well, and it plotted the course right along. So I was really impressed on that aspect of it, because I really wasn't sure. I was, on the ready to take over because it was not a good day yesterday as far as the weather goes. So I just kind of wanted to update you because I saw a YouTube video of how, amazing FSD is and blah, blah, blah. And yes, it is, but we still have a ways to go, especially for those of us here in the Northeast. And that's kind of really all I have to say about it. I'm not sure if any other YouTubers are even going to comment on it or made any videos. They probably weren't even out and about. But that's just how it is. But we've been going since the driveway. There have been no issues. I've been talking. It's been doing perfectly. Cameras are completely clear, as you can tell. Well, the front one's a little crazy, but that's okay. It's not too bad. But yes, the camera system and cleaning, that definitely needs to get better. And as far as the Cybercab coming to the Northeast, I don't think it's going to happen. I don't see how it can. All those cameras would have to be working with some sort of sprayer system. So unless that gets built in, the Cybercab isn't going to work up here. I'm not even sure if any robotaxi or any autonomous type Waymo, any of those would work up here in the Northeast. If you notice, where are they doing their testing? They're doing it in the South, Texas, California. Why? Because their weather is probably 95% pretty good. Yeah, they do have rainstorms, which we've seen on videos that does throw the system off. But you don't see them up here testing in the snow, do you? No. Why? Because they won't work. Too many fringe cases, especially in the wintertime. So, yeah, FSD works, but we still got a long ways to go, I think, until it can become where you don't even have to think about it, supervise it, and take over. All right, speaking of FSD, let's see how we park today. We've got the same two cars in the parking lot. They kind of flip back and forth on where they like to park. So let's just see where Cybertruck decides to park today. Okay, it seems to be liking this spot. I liked it when it parked on the other side, but that's okay. Looks like we're going to take over here. There's our lines. Let's watch those. Well, let's see. It's okay. It's not bad. Not great. Lines here, and then this is over here. A little bit more room on this side than there is on this side. And it did go over that line there. So we are going to pull it forward a little bit. See how much it went over. Yep, to about right there. We'll back it up. Right there is that line behind us. And we're going to stop it right there. Alright guys, thanks for listening to my rant, and we will catch you on the next one. Have a great day.